Wouldn't it be awesome if you could cut back on your travel expenses so that way you had more money to spend on your trips and you had more money to spend on traveling more often? Today, I want to share with you 10 ways that I found to cut costs on your travel expenses so that way you can keep more of your hard-earned money in your pocket and so that way you can have more money to spend traveling. So let's jump right in. My name is Andrew Lindsay, and if you enjoy this video, hit the subscribe button and hit the notifications button because I put out a new video every single week to help travelers and lifestyle enthusiasts take their lifestyle to the next level. So let's jump into my 10 tips. My first tip is travel on off season. If you travel during the off season, you can avoid bigger crowds as well as you tend to get better deals on your travel expenses just because, during the holiday season, it's a lot more busy. That's when people are traveling the most, and that's when it's going to be the most expensive. So try to travel during off season. I recommend using Google Flights because with Google Flights, not only can you see the price of the date that you put in when you're looking for your flights, but you can also see many, many months out and see the different prices over the following, I believe it's close to a year out that you can see all the prices, and that will help you book and plan accordingly for your trip so you can save on your flights. All travel expenses, including your food, your tours, your activities, all of this stuff tends to be a lot more expensive if you're traveling during the busy season, so you can tend to save a lot more money on all these things if you travel during the off season. Tip number 2, fly on off-peak day. Flying earlier in the week as opposed to later in the week or the weekend can save you a lot of money on your flights, as well as traveling during the times that people don't want to travel during the day, like early morning or late at night, can often save you a lot of money on your flights as well. So try to book earlier in the day or later in the day or earlier in the week so that way you can save on your flights and not travel during the busiest times of the week and times of the day. Tip number 3, book Airbnbs. So Airbnbs can sometimes be cheaper than hotels, and they oftentimes include a lot more amenities as well as provide you a more comfortable experience with more rooms, which makes it easier if you're traveling with friends or traveling with family, and can sometimes just give you an overall better experience. So don't forget to check out Airbnbs before you book your trip and before you book a hotel instead. Tip number 4, book your activities ahead of time. So a lot of people think that if they wait until last minute, they may actually get a better deal. Maybe that's due to last minute cancellations and they think that they may be able to get a better deal that way, but this is not always the case. Let's take Europe, for example. So Europe likes to plan their activities way ahead of time. So sometimes if you book your activities ahead of time when going to Europe, you can save some money. And sometimes you can even find group discount rates when traveling solo to Europe. Pricing is set up for groups, and sometimes as a solo traveler, you can find an open slot in one of these group activities to where you can get a good deal. Tip number 5, book a travel-friendly bank account. Nothing is worse than going out of the country and having ATM limits and constant ATM fees every single time you need to pull money out of an ATM. So open up a travel-friendly bank account with unlimited withdrawals and no ATM fees, so that way you can save a lot of money on withdrawing your money when you're out of the country. Real quick, I wanted to mention that I created a free resource available to you called my 10 Dream Destinations to Travel to on a Budget. And I created this resource so that way you would have 10 beautiful dream destinations that you could afford on a budget, available to you at your fingertips, as well as a bunch of resources for each one of those destinations that will help you pick your activities, book your activities, and know exactly what to do when you go there, so that way you can cut back on the research, cut back on the time, have everything available to you in one resource, and be able to book your next trip immediately and start making memories fast. So if you want to get this, it's in the description. It's in a link in the description. Be sure to click that below. Let's get on to the next tip. So tip number 6 is use a VPN to save money on your flights. Now, this is a little bit more techie, and it's kind of outside of the scope of this video for me to go into great detail on this. But basically, a VPN stands for Virtual Private Network, and it's a very affordable thing that you can get on your computer, usually for just a few bucks a month or just one annual fee of probably less than $100 a year. So just about anyone can do it. It's not that expensive. But the theory with a VPN is that essentially, let's say for example, you were going to book a flight from Nashville to Germany. Now I live in Nashville, so let's just say I was gonna book from Nashville to Germany, and I saw it was $2,000. Well, the theory is if I booked from a different location than where I'm actually at, that the price of the flight might be cheaper. And a VPN allows you to disguise your location and say, instead of you being where you're at, it can essentially say that you're in a different location. So I could set my location on my computer to a different country like Germany or India, or even a different state like New York or Canada, or Canada's not a state, to New York or to Texas or to California or wherever. You could set your destination to wherever you want it to be, and you may find a cheaper flight deal. This could range anywhere from, maybe $5 or $10 that you save to literally thousands of dollars that you save. And there are plenty of videos here on YouTube that go into great detail on how to do this. But to give you a brief rundown, it goes something like this. So let's say I go to a flight platform, I research a flight, I see it costs $2,000. And now what's gonna happen is the website is gonna place a cookie on my browser that's gonna keep track of my browsing history. And what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go to my browser, clear my cookies, go to my VPN, set my location to another state or country, or just another location, and then check that same flight again and see if I get a better deal. And if I don't, then I have to clear my cookies again, change my location again, and do the whole process over again. Now, this can be a super tedious process, but there have been plenty of examples of this actually working for people. So if you want to see some of that, you can dig around on YouTube. There's plenty of videos that go into greater detail on how this works and explains exactly how to do it step by step, and shows examples of people actually doing this and it working. But even though it's a little bit of a techie thing, and a repetitive thing, if you actually do this and you're willing to kind of check multiple states and multiple countries, check your flight from different locations, then you can potentially save money on your flights. Tip number 7 is pack light. So if you pack light, like just a backpack, you will be able to save with your carry-on bags first and foremost, because you won't have to pay for carry-on bags. This is pretty much what I do every time, because I like to travel light. I like to save on my carry-on bag expenses, and I just don't like to carry around a bunch of stuff. And another advantage of bringing a backpack as opposed to a carry-on is that you can, be a little bit more agile, be a little bit more flexible. You won't have to pay for like taxi luggage fees, have to carry around a suitcase all the time. And you will even save money because you won't have as much space to put stuff. So instead of buying a bunch of stuff and being able to throw it in your suitcase, you've only got a backpack, so it will keep you from buying a bunch of extra stuff that you just can't carry. Tip number 8, shop at a grocery store. Now this one may seem a little bit obvious, but shopping at a grocery store as opposed to going out to eat can save you a lot of money, and can sometimes be an adventure all in of its own, because if you go to another country that has different foods than what you have here in the States, you may have a completely new experience and get the opportunity to try some very good and unique food that you've never tried before. And it will also allow you the opportunity to buy snacks while you're on your trip and take them with you, as opposed to, maybe having to go out to eat more than once or spend a bunch of money that you don't need to spend while you're traveling. Tip number 9 is travel credit cards. So just like the VPN, travel credit cards go a little bit outside of the scope of this video for me to go into great detail on how they work. But essentially, if you are responsible with travel credit cards, they can be a great way to save on your travel expenses and possibly even travel for free. Travel credit cards can have all kinds of bonuses that allow you to rack up points that you can exchange for free travel, and some of them even offer access to airport lounges, shopping rewards, day-to-day spending benefits, and more. The key here is to be responsible. So don't spend any more money with a travel credit card than you would normally spend, and pay off your travel credit card by the end of every month. The interest rates on these travel credit cards can be really high, and you want to get it paid off by the end of every single month. On top of that, you want to educate yourself on which travel credit card is right for you. Everybody has different wants and different needs when it comes to travel, and there is a wide variety of different travel credit cards out there with different annual rates, different perks, different bonuses, and you need to do your research to figure out which one is appropriate for you and what will suit your travel needs and what will work best for you to save more money in the long run as it pertains to your travel. And if used correctly, this can help you save a lot of money on travel. And tip number 10 is check out free tourist attractions. Do your research before you go to any place and find the free tourist attractions. So pretty much anywhere you go is going to have things like walking tours or hiking or churches, And these are all great things that you can do for free and check out. Sometimes churches can even be like museums, depending on which country you're in or which city you're in. They can be absolutely beautiful and a free place to go and admire some beautiful architecture. So that was my 10 tips. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it helps you save money on your next trip. Now real quick, in case you missed it earlier, I wanted to mention my 10 dream destinations to travel to on a budget. I created this free resource so that way you would have 10 beautiful dream destinations available to you in one comprehensive list, as well as all the resources that you need to book your activities on these trips, so that way you can cut the time that you're having to research and plan these trips, and also cut the cost and start making memories ASAP, all of that at your fingertips. If this sounds awesome to you, click the link below in the description for my 10 dream destinations to travel to on a budget. Now, if you enjoyed this video and gained value from it, please like the video. It helps me out, and comment below what you want to see. Comment, your thoughts and maybe any other tips that you might have that I may have missed on how you can save on your travel. I'm here to help you, but I'm also learning too, so feel free to share any tips that you might have in the comments below. And if you feel like somebody that you know could gain value from this video, please share it and help them out and help them save money on their travel. See you next time. Peace.